They say music can touch a chord in your heart. And what makes music? Rhythm and melody. The magic that the beats of a tabla and the notes of a sarangi can create is something that fascinates me till date. Welcome to the Neumann Home Studio Academy, and I'm Meghdeep Bose, and this is my episode of Indian instruments and their basic recording techniques. Let's begin with tabla. The name tabla actually comes from tabl, the Persian and Arabic word for drums. Since the origin of Indian classical music was not well documented, owing to the mostly oral sharing of knowledge, and there are a lot of stories and legends about where some of the instruments originated from. In the earlier times, when darbar singing was prevalent, drupad and dhamar were the primary forms of singing. Pakhavaj was used as an accompanying instrument, but in the 15th and 16th century, Amir Khusro invented the khayal style of singing, and Pakhavaj was too serious sounding an instrument to accompany khayal. So a new instrument was needed. As per some legends, this is where tabla came into the picture. Whatever be its origin, its versatility in all musical styles, along with the level of sophistication and tonal beauty it possesses, it has won itself an unmatched status in the world of percussions globally. Beautiful, isn't it? Now let's observe the intricate details within the performance of a tabla, which would later decide the relevant miking technique for the respective genre we are recording the instrument for. The tabla consists of two separate drums, daya, the smaller drum with a wooden body, and baya, the larger drum with a metal body. Now, the daya and the baya are tonally different, but together they make the distinctive sound we associate with the tabla. A sound that is central to Indian classical music. Let's move to our next instrument, the beautiful and rich Saranghi. Let's start with the basics. Where did Saranghi originate from? Saranghi is widely believed to mean 100 colors, indicating its adaptability to a wide range of musical styles, its flexible tunability, and its ability to produce a large palette of tonal color and emotional nuance. The sarangi, not only in Hindustani classical music but also in folk music, is one of the rare instruments which come in closest proximity to the human voice. Having lived in the folk tradition for centuries, sarangi began to become popular in the mid-16th century to accompany vocal music. It is sometimes described as the Indian violin, but unlike the violin, it is held vertically. Its tone is rich and extremely enchanting. It is a very versatile instrument and can be used to perform in an exceptionally large variety of genres. The fingers of the left hand are used to create notes by pressing the strings with the skin just above the fingernails. And the bow is held in the right hand palm facing upwards, and it is drawn across the main strings of the sarangi just above the bridge. Well, now that we are acquainted with the playing techniques of tabla and sarangi, we will go through a few techniques to capture their performances. While we will discuss the microphones you can use in detail in the next episode, here are some of the other factors that you need to keep in mind while recording any sound. Not just the microphone, you also need to take into consideration the environment and the room you are recording in. The room sound is a combination of a room size, shape, and the building materials and fixtures. The most obvious form of room sound is acoustic reflections. Reflections are sounds that reach your ears after bouncing off another surface in the room, so you hear them as a reverberation. Well, example, a room with tiled or wooden walls and floor is considered live and produces more reflections than the one with carpets or with acoustic treatments designed to reduce unwanted reflections. Another example, a bathroom is mostly tiled and fairly free of soft furnishings and therefore most likely bright sounding and reflective. On the other hand, a living room is mostly carpeted, contains a couch or two, a curtain, maybe more curtains, all of which dampen the reflections up to some extent. Since we are discussing about home studio recording techniques, we will focus on how to capture performances in the best possible manner, considering that not all home studios are acoustically well treated. So, in the next episode, we will talk about how we can achieve various tonalities by simple miking techniques with Neumann microphones. Stay tuned.